Hi, I'm Kay, and this is my personal project video where we are making a French-inspired cuisine. And this is my stepdad, my mentor, who was a chef. French trained, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Start with your name. Let me hear it.
My name's Scott. I was a chef for about 20 years, a long time ago. I worked in hotels and restaurants, involved in food service and cooking and planning and consulting in various places, mostly major cities in the United States and then outside the United States, mostly, probably 50-50.
Okay.
So we have the duck legs thawing out, right?
Right.
So what we ended up doing was just doing hindquarters. So confit, you only do hindquarters because it's a tougher part of the meat. I mean, it's the same with chicken, right? Chicken thighs have more flavor, chicken legs have more flavor, right? That's why you always do like fried chicken this way. Well, it's a gamier meat, so it's it's chicken-esque, but with a gaminess to it.
Mm-hmm.
So confit is slow and low like barbecue. So submerged in oil, you put bay leaves, you put rosemary, you put thyme, peppercorns. I do cinnamon stick. I think that if you do a dry spice of kind of like an Indian and almost like a curry style or Chinese 5-spice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cinnamon. There's cumin in it. I like to do a little bit of brown sugar or sugar because it helps to caramelize the skin after the fact. But basically, you drop something in hot oil, it fries. If you submerge it in oil that comes to a temperature, and then you do it at a low temperature, so say you do 215 degrees, and instead of doing it for an hour, you do it for 3 hours. Well, what you're doing is you're tenderizing this. What we're also going to do is throw in the winter vegetables, so rutabaga, turnips, parsnips, carrots. I'm trying to think of what else we're going to be putting in there, but so it's a duck confit cassoulet is traditionally a peasant food. All fine dining is based off of peasant food.
Okay. Peasant?
Peasant, like poor people food.
Okay.
So you do second cuts of meat, so pork shoulder and things like that. In this one, we're going to do a modern take on it. So I've got some chorizo in here that a friend of mine gave me. It's his mom's recipe, and I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. So we're going to make sausage. So we're going to thaw this out, and then we're going to put it
in here.
No, you don't want to do it like that. Here, I'll show you. So chorizo is like a Spanish style sausage. So you know how you have like mild and hot Italian sausage that goes on pizzas and stuff like that, or in lasagna, or a traditional bolognese. This is a little different. Oh yeah, he does have it bagged up. This is chorizo. All chorizo is sausage done with Mexican spices. Well, you're smelling a raw product. So we'll do all that at the same time.
We're prepping the day before.
Yes. Prep
Dinner tomorrow night.
is essential.
Essential. Y'all hear that?
Grab 4 squares of paper towel all together. There you go. And then fold it in half. And then turn the water on low. Like a slow drip. You're going to do your prep right here. Yeah. And then you do this. The reason you do this is because when you're using a cutting board, it will do a dance underneath of you, and then you can end up cutting your hand. So I put that down and turn the water off. And then here, and then it doesn't move.
Oh.
All it does is
Life
create
hack.
suction between like a stainless, like in a kitchen, you'd have stainless steel table. You'd never have anything like this with ridges because that's where bacteria will lie. Okay.
We went shopping today and got all these ingredients.
Okay, so we're gonna start with smaller veg. So we're gonna do. So whenever I do a cassoulet, so traditionally the French do it with cannellini beans, or I've seen it with Thai style pui lentils before. So since we're doing a variation of it, all that does, so that's not really sharpening it, that's just honing it. If you cut anything acidic with that blade, German steel, you'll start to get curves at the very tip of it, and it makes people think, so your knife actually isn't not sharp, it's just the blade will start to bend. Okay. So this is German steel. So this is a rutabaga. Have you ever had a rutabaga?
I don't think so.
So you can use a peeler for this, like this. So go ahead and peel that.
Okay. Into the sink?
Mm-hmm. And then while you were doing that, so I'm gonna use these sweet potatoes in 2 different dishes. So I'm gonna use them in the first course and the second course.
Oh yes! First course we're making sweet and spicy
surf and turf.
Surf and turf. And then the second course we're making duck confit.
Duck confit cassoulet.
Cassoulet.
Kind of a modern take on it. It's gonna be a little different.
Will there be dessert?
Dessert? Keep my mom behind the cam. We are making, we're either deciding between creme brulee and crepes.
Mm-hmm. I think we're gonna do creme brulee with macerated berries.
Let's do it. Do we need to prep any of that today?
No, that's easy. We could make it today. All it is we're making ice cream base.
Get the actual shot.
I like the big chunky look of mushrooms. Some people get really weird about them. They're like, oh, you have to clean them and you have to do this and that to them. Really, you don't have to do that much to it. Now, if you're getting these straight out of the field or something, but.
Do you like that?
Yep. So some people are weird. There's always been a controversy between, like I said, with washing mushrooms. Problem is, mushrooms will absorb everything. So if you soak these in oil, they'll absorb the oil. If you soak them in water, they'll absorb the water. To get good crispy ones, I don't do any of that. I don't ever, like, you can put them in a water bath. Like if you fill the sink halfway, you can put it in there and wash them like this, just dunk them. But then you have to pull them out of the water and dry them out on a towel or something like that.
Okay.
And I just cut the stems off and it makes it universal. But I like the chunkiness of it because it'll keep its body when you go to cook it with the rest of the dish itself. So we're gonna have, I like to take sweet potatoes. These are technically yams, but these are Japanese sweet potatoes.
Oh, yeah, they're not orange.
Sweet potatoes. Yeah. So not all sweet potatoes are orange. That's why you saw the variants.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So you have some that come from the United States. Typically, what we call sweet potatoes are actually yams, candied yams. So it's just a different. Like the skin will be different. Sweet potatoes are typically like this maroon color. Now, if that maroon color goes to a more opaque color, like these turnips right here, there's typically yams. Like when you buy pumpkin in the United States, canned pumpkin at Thanksgiving, 98% of all of those cans are going to be sweet potato, not pumpkin.
Okay.
We don't really
Fun
produce that
fact.
many pumpkins.
So what do you want me to do now?
So I'm going to let you take over the vegetable cutting. Here in 2 seconds, I just want to get these done.
You nuttiness anymore?
I'll need it. All right, so mushrooms are done. So now you're gonna peel these.
Easy. Not so easy.
The tip off so it's uniform. And then I'm just gonna go. And I do these little cuts. And I make everything as uniform as possible, right? Mm-hmm. For us, it doesn't matter because we're doing this for ourselves. And then I take these scraps, I always leave them to the side, and I'll freeze them in a bag. And then when I want to make a vegetable stock for like a soup in the winter, I'll pull these out, put them in a pot with onions, garlic, other vegetable scraps, stir it around. I can do the same thing if I've got like
a vegetable broth.
Mm-hmm. You make a vegetable stock. So a stock is just a way to, you're basically making water that's flavored with vegetable juice, with vegetable flavor.
Like a soup or just like to
like the base of a soup.
Okay, yeah.
So you have minestrone soup from Italy, and you put like vegetables and potatoes, and it's tomato based primarily, right? Okra is in there sometimes, depending on where you're getting it. But what you're doing is you're starting with a ton of flavor in the stock, and then you roast your vegetables. You incorporate this flavorful jus to it, like this base, this stock to it, and it makes it so it's a quicker way to make a more flavorful dish a la minute, like in the moment. So as we do this, so see how we're gonna have our carrots all kind of bias cuts like this. So we'll do this with the carrots and the parsnips.
Okay.
So this is basically a white, sweeter flavor of, and it's kind of got a like a, I don't know what you call it, like a licorice flavor to it.
Earthy kind of.
Yeah, it's just a little different. But let me grab this stuff. So you always want to be aware of where your fingers are. So you use the claw method.
Oh my god. Okay.
So move your hand back here a little bit. Here, watch me.
Holding it like.
Let me show you. So hold your knife. So this is what they call like the heel of the blade. So I use it like that. So I've got kind of better balance on it. And I put here, or I'll hold it like this. And that gives you more control. See, I don't ever hold it like this. Anybody that's like housewife stuff. And it's, you can't manipulate the knife, right? See how I'm doing? Yeah. It's very stiff. But if I choke up on it like this, and I go in here, I'm controlling it. And then I keep my fingers back. So see, you see right here? See how I've got it on my fingers? So I never run the risk of cutting myself because my fingers are pulled back past my knuckles, and then the knife just slides along, and I guide that with my knuckles.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. You said like that?
Nope.
No.
Here, let me see your hand.
Closer.
I want you to tuck in here, hold here, and kind of hold it like that.
I'm really scared.
All right, here, let me do it.
No, I got that. Am I not doing it?
No, because look how far your hand is.
I don't want to go any closer.
Okay. Well, see, you got your fingernails. That's how you cut your fingernails off. You know how many times I've cut my fingernails off?
Oh, no.
Okay.
What?
Watch his.
Watch what I'm doing.
I watched them, I promise.
So, I'm gonna give it a little more of an angle, right? So, see how my fingers look from here. And see how I'm holding the knife?
Yeah.
My thumb's here. My fingers are rolled back like that. Now, then you notice my fingers. Right, I'm never doing this. I'm always doing this. And I've got my fingernails into it, right? But I'm rolling it. And you can even, some people do this, like when I would have new chefs come in and they're not used to cutting, like they're still learning, like an apprentice. You don't see it in the US, but overseas, people don't go to culinary school. It's a waste of money. The only reason we do it is so that you have a degree so that you can go overseas and work. Otherwise, it's useless, right? Everything you learn is on the job. So you start off slow like this, You see how I'm just inching like 1/18 of an inch at a time? I'm just backing my fingers off of it.
Okay.
All right.
You can practice on the parsnips.
Yeah. So let's cut one of these. So this is a rutabaga. So what I'll do
is it hollow?
No. So I'm just gonna make a flat edge there. And I'm gonna do, now this one's a little harder. This is a root vegetable. All right, and then I'll turn it because I've got all this. And so I can go back to it here and get the cut that I want. Well, it's because it's easier to cut that way, right? And so you're gonna have, like in a restaurant, I would square these off to where every piece was exactly the same size and shape.
Wow.
We don't have to be that particular because, you know. But then I'll go in here and I'll make them a little chunky like this. Almost like you're making little French fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like to push everything against my blade to make a consistent cut.
Once?
If you want to.
It seems a little like hard to push through.
Not really. And they don't, like I said, they don't have to be totally. And you're holding on.
Dang!
Yeah. So try them one at a time.
I just want to do it like this. Can't I just do it like this?
See your fingers? I'm afraid you're going to cut your hand.
I won't. Just know. Famous last words. Like, why doesn't that work? Yeah?
Mm-hmm. And then you...
Done. What is this, the rutabaga?
Yep.
Done.
Don't take these. Okay.
It's taking my ingredients.
You're gonna cut this.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you this knife.
Okay. You gonna sharpen it?
No, it doesn't get used that much. I don't know if I want you to use this knife.
Why?
Because it's really small and you don't have a lot of arm strength. I'm just afraid you're gonna cut yourself with this.
I'm not. Okay, what shape are we doing?
So on this one, here's what I would do. So I'd find a flat spot, or I'd create one like that, right? Mm-hmm. And then I would square it off a little bit, like this, just so you have a little flatter surface all around. I'll throw this in here. And then maybe I'll do the same, like this, and I'll cut it into threes, right? And then from here.
What, Mom?
What?
No, you're good.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing. What?
So you can do like this. So you got the same kind of cut out again, right? And then just do like twists.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. This one's gonna be starchy again because it's a root veg. So yeah, just cut the tip and then turn it sideways. Yeah, and you're basically cutting little pyramids. And the reason you want to cut your vegetables consistently about the same size is because that way everything cooks at the same rate of.
Can I do like 3 at a time or no?
No, you don't want to do that.
Oh.
Why do you want to do 3 at a time? So it's faster?
I'm just proactive.
I would say that.
Or are you gonna start on something over there? It really just like reeks of vegetables in here. He's got a thing for vegetables.
Well, think about it. How many people do you know go to the grocery store and they would never buy a rutabaga or a turnip or parsnips?
Everyone at the Whole Foods definitely would.
I mean, even there, did you see them? Like, people just, there's all...
Shnuckey up in here cutting the turnips. Parsnips.
So I'm using this small little slicer knife that you would never cut vegetables with. But
But I'm not allowed to use that knife.
Well, you can't, but until you learn how to use like without your fingers in the way.
Stop making noises when you think I'm gonna like cut my hand off.
So I'm gonna do these again. I'm gonna do these little rounds like your mom, like you get from canned carrots. I'm gonna try to keep them somewhat consistent.
And what are you cutting, Scott?
This is celeriac, or celery root.
And if you ask me what I am doing, I am peeling turnips. And really well, actually. I'm like,
A chorizo.
look how fast I'm going. Catch this.
Move your fingernail and your thumb. There you go.
Did I cut myself?
It's not a matter of if, it's when. Did it break? So watch my hand. See that? I can totally manipulate this. And I control where it goes.
Oh my gosh.
Right there, right? My hand automatically knows to stay.
I just
right.
don't like the grip.
Well, and see, I move this, not my knife. So I'll do this. See, I'm moving that. Because when you start manipulating this, that's when you get. Okay. Let's see what you got.
Let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boom. Do we need more?
No, we're good.
Now onto the shallot?
Now onto the shallot. Now this one's gonna be tricky. So we're gonna throw everything in at different times, right? Because everything cooks at different times. So this is what I do to celery.
Satisfying. You don't like the top part?
I don't use it that much. I mean, I usually
I want to
out.
break it.
So you can see this is what it does. This is how it's made. It's actually a little
You
strips
can't swallow
of
that even if you
vegetable.
try.
You can. You chew it up. You know, it actually takes more calories to eat.
We're taking out the fiber of the cloves and soaking them in warm water so they're easier to peel. And yeah. Alright. And I cut these carrots for our stock. And what now, Shnuckey?
You're gonna put them on top of the celery.
Now look at that.
And since this is just gonna be boiled,
It smells really good in here.
an onion in here.
I'm getting squashing them.
What you want to do is you squash it and push. And then this is what you want. You want the meat. Now in a restaurant, because the interior, like the core of it, the little stem, they'll separate those. And if they're really green, like really fresh garlic, on the end of this stem, you can see it here. These aren't green because they come in a grocery store and it's probably been in a warehouse forever.
It smells
See
so
that little
good.
stem? There's chunks in it. If you peel that apart, there's actually, it's kind of overpowering flavor sometimes. I like old onions because they give you better flavor. And I like young garlic because the stem's easier to pull out and it's not as robust. I don't want it to overpower everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I just take it, crush it, slide it. Crush it, slide it.
And that takes off the...
Well, it separates it easier. Like you can see some of the skin here. See how if you were to take a piece and try to peel it off without soaking it, you can be done, but you're gonna have it all over your hands. It sticks to your hands. I mean, it even sticks to your hands now, but it's easier to separate the actual meat of what I need from the fiber. Because all it is just a protective shell. And then you don't have to be fancy with it. Just put it all together like that. And it'll naturally stick together because it's got an oil to it. I mean, that's what all this flavor, like, everything is because you're getting the blowback on it. It's just oil. It's just like little particles of moisture that come off of it while you're chopping it, just like onions. Don't use these. In some restaurants you will. Usually it's for a garnish.
Oh, you don't want that
Or
one?
a stock. Like I will use this in a stock.
Satisfying.
Alright. But see all this?
That's bad.
See all that?
Yeah.
So all this is dirt
Ew.
in it.
Literally ew.
So the reason you prep this certain way, so I try to get as much of that green off of it as I can, but see that? So it's just layers and layers like an onion, right?
Ew.
So I'll do that. I'll take off the most of the bulb at the bottom to where it looks like a tree rings. And then I'll cut it in half. I'll cut this portion in half. And see how fibrous it is? So what I'll do
Beautiful.
is I'll take and I cut little strips because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this on the first course. And I try to get semi-consistent peels. And then I do this, right? And then what I'm gonna do, like you hear that? That's grit.
Does this also burn your eyes?
No. So this is the leek
One
this is the
section.
onion family. But you'll notice you get cold water and you take the little strips and you set them in there. And no matter what, the strips themselves will float. I'll let you do the next half.
Can I eat it?
It tastes like raw onion.
Not bad. It does taste bad. Ah! Yeah.
Wait till you taste it tomorrow. Okay, so you're gonna cut this in half.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Why do you do that? Here, let me show you.
Stop, I got it.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I didn't got it.
You gotta let the knife do the work. That's
No,
the trick.
that's what I thought it was doing.
Alright, and then you're gonna go real slow. And you're just gonna cut strips.
This is not for me. Why are my strips thicker than your
Because
strips?
you don't know what you're doing.
Do it.
Watch what I do.
I
Watch.
promise my
It's
eyes are on
easy.
fire.
It's easy, watch. See this? So I'm gonna start here. I go into the front first, like this. Slice me nicely. And I can control the size of the cuts. And then as you get more comfortable with your knife and your motor skills, you get all consistent.
It's so big.
The duck.
These are our duck legs.
So I want to keep this fat on there, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to score it. And see what I'm doing? And then I do what they call crosshatch. It's kind of like in drawing when you're shading, you do crosshatch back and forth. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And what I do that for is because when I put my dry spice on here,
Gets up in there.
I want it to penetrate.
Right now, he's seasoning the duck with predominantly, what does it say? Shnuckey?
Garam masala.
Yeah, you're not recording me.
Oh, sorry, garam masala.
What are you doing?
Cardamom.
Ground. Garlic powder, onion powder, and cinnamon. And like a couple other things, but these are like the mains. Oh.
A little salt in there, maybe.
A little salt, a little thyme, a little pepper, ground pepper.
So I do, so I'm gonna massage the duck to get it into those little crevices that I created when I did the slices, the crosshatch slices.
Mm-hmm.
Smell
Oh, it smells really good actually. Like a cinnamon roll.
Well, I like the cinnamon because it makes it really good. Everybody always associates cinnamon with sweet, but in most places, cinnamon's heavily used in other.
But it smells sweet.
It does smell sweet. That's because you're associating it with cinnamon buns.
Yeah.
That's what everybody does. French toast, cinnamon buns, dessert. But really, I mean,
Kind of spicy.
yeah, I mean it's super hot. Like you eat it by itself. Have you ever tasted cinnamon by itself? It's super hot. It's very good for your digestive tract.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna throw them in here. And I got a pretty good seasoning. Some of this, don't be afraid to over season it
Okay.
because a lot of this will get lost in the moment. And then I'll use some of this in the oil itself. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. Like technically it does. Like if we were in a restaurant, I would have cinnamon sticks and I would have whole leaves of herbs like.
What are we doing today?
So we are making the confit.
It's the next day.
So, will you go grab the duck legs? out?
Yes.
Normally we would do it in the duck fat, but we're not buying a bunch of duck fat just to use once. So what we're gonna do is,
We let it marinate overnight in the seasoning. Oh wow.
and then get away for that. It sounds really good.
Mmm. Smells good.
So, I'm gonna take some of the celery from yesterday. I'm gonna pull a couple stalks off. 3 stalks.
3 to be exact.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a separation from the pan and the duck. So we're gonna cook it at 225.
Look at our pot that we bought just for this. It's so cute. And that helps me.
Yep. Wow.
Get the angles more.
So weird. Yeah, I'm gonna take the duck. So here. Okay.
What about our veggies?
Hmm?
What about our veggies?
We're gonna do those later.
Oh, okay.
So this is the reason I'm doing it this way is because I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do like confit the duck. I'm gonna separate it, and then I'm gonna do a quicker confit on the vegetables because they don't take as long.
He didn't mean he meant we.
We are gonna do. I'm gonna throw some rosemary in.
This piece of hair is about to be the death of me.
I'm gonna throw some peppercorns in if I can find them.
Seasoned with dry herbs.
Aromatics.
Aromatics. And this from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And vegetable oil. We're gonna cover it up. Right. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That is so much oil.
Yep.
Oh, just the whole thing. You'll just need a whole.
Well, it depends on how much duck you're doing. Like for
The
us.
duck to oil ratio.
It's gonna be super greasy, or will it drain later?
No, it doesn't get greasy. So what you're doing is you're like you pull it out of the oil.
Right.
So
But it doesn't like absorb.
no, it's not like when you fry chicken. This will create a crispy skin, but it won't actually fry it because you're doing it at such a low temperature. You have to be at least 350 degrees to get a fry, crisp skin on it.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So what we're doing is the oil actually penetrates it. So the meat itself is going to be tender, but it's like gives you the consistency of braising. So you know how you do like carnitas, and you cook it in fat and oil, and then you pull out that chunk of meat and you just take a fork or those
Claw
I forget what they
things.
call them, like the claw things, and you'll shred it up. This is just a way of doing that. And then what you do is, oh, we don't have any.
What do you need?
Parchment paper.
Fail.
Well, you don't really need it. Actually, you know what? I don't even think we need this. I'll use that on the veggies. Because we got the lid.
Oh, yeah, facts. It's so cute.
So normally I would do fresh rosemary, fresh thyme, fresh peppercorns, all that jazz.
But we're using dry.
Popping it in the oven at
25
225 for
for about 3 hours.
3 hours. About.
Thereabouts.
Depends. Like our oven isn't very.
Maybe the 0.5 is best.
No, I don't like. All right. Now we need to do. I do a little salt in it as well. In both the milk
And this is just milk and
and vanilla extract. Typically use Madagascar vanilla beans. You strip them, and then you take your knife and run it down the side of it, and it pulls all the interior out. I add a little salt because it will give it much more flavor. So grab the white sugar, the castor sugar out of that cabinet over there.
Just that?
It's white sugar, yep.
Oh my god.
And then we're gonna do.
Don't get my diaper wet on him.
Okay.
If I should do more than a cup of sugar.
They're ruining the shot.
With their whining and barking.
I'm gonna do all that sugar.
About a cup?
Just shy of.
Yeah, just shy of. Traditionally people are like, it needs a lot of sugar. I mean, what you have to remember is when you're making it, you're also going to use sugar after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So, traditionally,
Look at that consistency.
A little more sugar.
You let them in.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Then we're going to take this and bring it to a simmer.
You're gonna bring the milk to a simmer? You're bringing the milk to a simmer?
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Now, I'm going to take the string off.
Oh. Oh.
And I'm going to portion this. So this is basically a chunk of bacon.
Okay.
All right? You can tell, see?
Yeah.
So there's gonna be, I'm just gonna do a couple little pieces. How do I wanna do this?
For the surf and turf?
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna leave the fat on there. So I think I'm gonna do, like that. Like that.
You're keeping the string?
No, I'm gonna throw it away. That. All right.
And then we have our cod, pork belly, letting the milk boil.
Yeah, just want to bring it up slow.
Look at how beautiful he looks.
Watch this real fast.
Because if you deal with raw meat, you could get sick.
People get really weird about pork. No. I don't think anybody's died from like any pork-related illnesses in the U.S. or North America since like 1914, maybe.
Oh,
People are
dang.
still weird about it. People are really mostly weird about it because of their
And we support all. Oh. Fail.
So we're gonna do.
Okay. Ooh.
We're gonna cut it the same way again.
And what is this gonna, like, even be?
This is the starter.
Oh, yes.
What do you mean? What's
I don't even know what it looks like when it's done.
Well, usually in a kitchen, whenever you do a menu item, we would design the plate before we even did any kind of execution to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we take like you're drawing. So you draw the plate and then you draw your composition, like a rough estimate of, or a rough guess of what the visual is going to be, because you have to produce it the same way every time. The reason you do that is because you've got like servers and.
Me?
You're not very good at the camera, right?
I don't really know what's going on. Let's hear those spices.
So it's actually a chicken seasoning.
What's it called?
Chicka boom boom.
No, it's not.
Chicka licka boom boom. Bam bam. I don't know. Your mom found it and it's awesome.
Some salt,
Mm-hmm.
some onion powder, garlic powder, the staples. And this is for the serpent.
So I'm gonna do both the same way. I'm gonna use the same seasoning. So I picked pork belly and cod because one, they're both very traditional. So cod, if you ever get a chance to read the book Cod, if it wasn't for the cod fish, North America would never have been, well, I won't say never, but it would have taken a lot longer to discover the Americas.
Oh.
The reason being, wow, this is, I think I'm gonna do turbinado sugar.
Okay.
This is
Fun fact of the day.
I'm gonna throw that away. Turbinado sugar.
Oh. Is this different?
This is different. It's It's kind of a cross between regular sugar, like caster sugar, and brown sugar. So you can see it's kind of dry and chunky, but this is a much better sugar for you. Sugar's not supposed to be white.
You can show off your new tattoo.
I get the rest of it done next month. I'll get my guy on the horn.
This smells really good.
So the reason I portioned it is so that I can get equal parts. So usually you do pork belly, like French restaurant, you'll take this and cut it into small cubes, and they call them lardons. And all a lardon is chunks of bacon. They're super chewy and fatty. Put it in your salad.
Right.
Alright, so
Wait, I want to do it.
I'm just going to show you. You got to be really careful with it because you don't want to do it too fast. Because what it is you're basically bringing the temperatures of the eggs at the same time as the milk. You'll start to smell it like it smells like ice cream.
I smell mac and cheese.
And you do a little more. Eventually you get to a point where and then
Work it in slowly.
So you remember that the milk's hot and the eggs are refrigerated. They should be about 35 to 38 degrees coming out of the fridge.
Wow. All I see are your toes in the corner of the shot.
You're like the worst at this project ever.
Wow. I promise it just smells like mac and cheese. Wow. Okay. Is it done? Wow.
So you want to get it just like chicken, 165 degrees internal for at least 30 seconds. Some people do 20 seconds.
And then we have the creme brulee.
So the creme brulee is the creme anglaise
I'm scared. Okay.
in a ramekin. And then you can see the water. So you fill the water up right here. I use hot water to start.
Touched it.
Yeah. You fill the water up. And you have to be very careful. So when you pull it out, I put it on a sheet pan so the water doesn't splash. But yeah, so that's it. Very easy.
Sam, you want to say hey to the vlog?
So the duck's done.
Excuse me.
Action.
Okay, we're oiling up the vegetables.
Okie dokie. We've got more up there if we need. Oh no, there's plenty in there.
Is that plenty?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some avocado oil on it too, instead of doing that other one.
Wow.
So what we're gonna do, so go over there and grab a glove out of that top drawer, right hand side, underneath your mom's junk thing.
one?
Yeah. And put it on your right hand. So then we're gonna do, again, some dried herbs. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna roast these. I'd rather put these in my hand. So we're just putting them in this bowl to stir it up a little bit. Don't be afraid to use good salt.
Yeah.
Okay, now pull your sleeve down and then just gently mix it around. Kind of scrape your hand under. Try not to get it out. Yep. There you go. Keep going. Might need a little more oil.
There's olive oil up top if you need it.
Oh, there is?
Mm-hmm. Left.
Oh. Let's do a little more. So a lot of this will cook out, right? But I don't want to over oil it. And because these are root veg, I kind of add salt as I kind of see how it mixes up. The aromatics, the dry herbs, you don't need a lot. That's the one thing about using dry herbs versus fresh herbs. Usually I would do this in a restaurant. I would have sprigs of dry herbs that I would throw into the sauce portion of it that we're gonna make
This bowl's
next.
not big enough.
Well, we don't really have bowls to do stuff like this. But that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Next, we're gonna strain out this oil.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll show you. So we're gonna clean this
Clean
up.
as you go.
Yes,
That's the
always.
key. Use that always.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this.
Probably in the sink, right?
That'd be better. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a cup to start. And this is what we're gonna do. Like that, over the sink. So what I'm trying to do is get all those dry herbs and anything that's stuck to the bottom. I wanna remove that.
And just have the oil
You just have the oil.
and duck fat.
Yep.
Okay.
Ew! It's like really covered in oil.
Alright.
What?
Is that good?
That's it?
Why do you have that look on your face?
Well, look.
Okay. Where'd that oil go? Oh, over here. Now we're gonna sweat our vegetables. Now I want to use a little bit of oil.
The vegetables that you just put in the oven?
Nope.
Oh. What were those for?
Yeah, we just put them down.
Vegetables in the
Mirepoix
oven.
vegetables.
Mirepoix vegetables.
So we're gonna do. I'm gonna save a little bit of this garlic.
Garlic.
I'm gonna do
Onion. It's onion.
Shallot?
Shallot.
I'm gonna save the other bit of this for my other thing. And then
Onion, carrot, celery.
yes,
What do you call that?
Mirepoix. M-I-R-E.
Mirepoix.
With a liaison grave and P-O-I-X.
Keep
Mirepoix.
it.
Then
Oh, that smells good.
Yep.
Just kind of whiff of it.
so I'm gonna sweat these. So that means I'm gonna get the temperature hot so this pan gets hot. And then I'm gonna turn it down. Because all I'm trying to do is sweat the flavor out of these.
Okay.
So basically I'm making
not
the
a
exact
picture.
same thing, but it's
Exact.
gonna come out two different ways.
Two different ways.
Is that tomato in there?
We are taking the flavor out, but adding in some tomato to give it a little bit of that.
Je ne sais quoi.
I promise I was thinking whatever that means. I don't know what.
Go again.
We added our wine. It should be a beautiful magenta color.
No,
What?
it's red wine.
Should be a beautiful red wine color.
Burgundy color.
Burgundy color. I just can't get anything right.
And then this one.
And our vegetables with some broth. Broth and both. But this one,
This is a light
Sizzling.
chicken stock broth,
it's sizzling.
and we hit it with Prosecco, which is a sparkling white wine.
They're both wine though.
Now we're doing a reduction. So we're concentrating the flavors. And so at the end of this, we're going to strain this one and this one separately and keep them separate again. This one we're going to hit with a little bit of cold butter at the very end. We're going to bring it back up to temperature after it's strained. And then before we serve it on the dish, we're going to reduce it down by then, and then we're going to heat it back up, throw cold butter into it. That'll thicken the jus, and that'll go on top of our pork and cod.
Y'all heard it here first.
Okay, what are we doing now?
We're adding sugar to the fruit that is the creme brulee, and we're gonna add lemon juice and aged dark rum. What's it called when you do this?
Macerated.
Macerated. We're macerating the mixture of berries. We got strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries.
Got some leeks
all
going
the
over
berries.
here.
So I've turned our leeks down a little bit. And what we're trying to do, we've added a little bit of sugar. But I'm going to let these weep so the juice, the natural juices start to come out. So it kind of creates like a sauce on its own.
A sauce for the creme brulee.
For the berries.
Well, sort of. So I do just a touch of rum. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. And what it does is it kind of makes the, imagine the berries kind of exploding. So they'll start
Bloating.
to, yeah, I mean, they don't really like,
Okay, what's next?
Thanks for asking. We're chopping up some parsley and what is it?
and cilantro.
Cilantro. Which is what's in the rice at Chipotle. Fun fact.
Which one is that right there, Kate?
Don't read it, just look at it.
Parsley.
Can you tell tell the difference?
The leaves.
Yep. So these always have 3-tiered leaves.
Like
sets,
poison
like a
ivy?
3-leaf clover. Yeah, kind of like poison ivy. And
She
then
knows her leaves.
we're not going to cut this one yet. So this one we're going to cut. So first we're going to rinse it off in cool water.
That's one.
That's why I said cold water. not worried about the stems because we're not going to use those. And I'm just going to shake it up.
Get me wet.
And all we're doing that is just to get the loose, wet dirt off of it.
Right.
Alright, and then we're going to grab the big knife. Whenever you walk with it, you hold it down.
Alright.
So you don't run into somebody. Alright,
You're gonna run into someone.
so we're going to do this. I'm going to kind of fold it on itself. So a lot of people are like, oh, like in a restaurant, we would pluck all the leaves off and separate the stems. But because we're not doing this for anybody but us, just a nice, slow, rustic cut. And they'll start to stick together.
Rustic.
Mhm.
Rustic.
Like that.
Uh-huh. Wow. What a satisfying sound.
And then I'm going to take
Oh.
this portion. I'm going to throw a little bit in here. Throw a little bit in there.
And what will the parsley be used for?
So the parsley is going to go into the cassoulet. And then what you do, are you done playing?
I'm not.
Chopping.
This is not chopping. In case anybody needs to know, this is not how you chop. Hold your knife.
Well, I don't let the haters get me down. So that meant
Is that
nothing to me.
considered a chiffonade?
Chiffonade? No.
Oh.
This is considered chopping.
And what would a chiffonade be?
A chiffonade would be, so for example, if you had a bay leaf or a larger leaf herb, I mean, you could do it on these.
You like roll them and
But no, you just do, you roll it and you do little slices. Like basil. Basil, you roll it up and then you do little slivers and they're in long strips like that.
fun fact.
Fun fact. Get the king.
We actually
Broken. No, it was Bojo. Bojo! Huh?
Yeah, get in Kia with Bojo.
It was Bojo.
I mean, this scarf is a little wonky, but still, that was.
Yeah, you know it was him. Bojo! Oh.
They get distracted by like everything.
I am my mother's daughter.
This is true. So then I'm going to take it like this. Okay.
Ken?
And then we're going to wrap it up and soak up some of the moisture. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it in the fridge. Wait.
Sweet.
In the fridge for later.
So now the cilantro, what will it be used for?
So the cilantro is going to go on the appetizer.
That's a bit of a garnish.
Yeah, sort of. So this one we're going to do differently. So we're going to go through and pick some good ones.
You don't need as much, right?
We're picky here.
So I'm always one of those people that's super anti stuff on my plate that I'm not going to eat. But this is going to go with the fefadoos. They're like North African sweet peppers. And then Manola oranges and an apple. So our pork is going to sit on one side. So we're going to do it on the skateboard. So we're going to do leeks.
Oh, did we get those?
we're gonna do leeks, just a strip of leeks, and then we're gonna dress it with some fruit and peppers and cilantro, and then we're gonna sit our seared pork belly and our cod.
Okay, yum! Who's excited? Just me.
Me too.
You too.
Okay. And then sit this back in the fridge. Bottom shelf.
Just loose. Okay.
And we've left our cod and pork belly seasoned, wrapped up in the fridge for a couple hours now. Yeah, you do you.
And here's the leeks.
Ooh. Cooked leeks.
Caramelized and everything.
I usually say they're melted leeks because they kind of start to break down. So they still hold their form. But I'm just do a little bit less.
When are you gonna let me chop something?
I'm going to show you how to do an orange, and then you're going to do the oranges.
I can chop an orange.
Not the way it's supposed to be cut.
For the fancy appetizer.
So, we're going to flip this over. And our knife. Alright. Orange.
Take a guess. In half?
Nope.
Can I do
So, I want to get it to where I can see more of the segment. Alright. Oh, this is beauty.
Beauty.
Alright.
And you just slice them, right?
Yeah. But I do mine a little different. So I peel the outside off. I'll let the knife do the work. And then I just clean it up a little bit. See, I let the knife do all the cutting. I just maneuver it where I want it to be. So
And what
once I
kind of
get
oranges are they?
Manolas.
Manolas.
They look like a blood orange, but they're not.
They taste more like an orange.
Yeah. And then I do this. So see the little stripes there?
Yeah. That oranges tend to have.
So we're cutting around those.
Could you not have just peeled it?
Yeah, you can. But this is faster.
And no one likes the strings.
Truth.
I know I don't.
See, and I want it to look a certain way. So I used to do in Washington, in DC, they have a lot of rockfish, and it's native to there. So almost every species, like tilapia. So tilapia is American. In Vietnam, they call it Paganisas. It's the same fish, it's just different water. They eat different food in the water, and the
So
water
they taste
temperature's
different?
different. No, they don't taste much different, but they look very different. So a Paganisas, so everybody knows what a tilapia looks like, right?
Yeah.
A Paganisas is like this. It's
Oh,
huge.
like times 10.
Yeah.
Kate cutting the orange.
Now clean it up. Not too aggressive. That's how you cut yourself.
I haven't cut myself once this whole process.
We ain't done yet.
The first day I met you, you were trying to whittle us down.
Backstory.
And what happened?
And she came screaming bloody murder into the house.
I cut my hand. What was I supposed to do?
And then big, thick bottle cap glasses. And she went like this, and it was like a nick or
No, it wasn't. It was like that big.
Your hand was like this big.
Well, it's gonna be bigger if
And it
you
was like
catch up
this
that
big.
knife.
I'm not cutting myself.
Okay.
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's your phone?
I promise it's fine.
Nice.
There you go. Nice. Just cutting them the same way.
Making these little bitty pieces of.
So you want them about the same thickness across the board.
They are.
Straight down.
They are. Are they not?
I don't know. Not really, but they're close. So grip up on your knife. You ever dig a hole?
No.
Think about it. You hold a shovel. Do you hold the very end of it? Do you hold the front end of that? Because what you're
I
trying to
just
do
don't
is,
understand how this is wrong.
well, I mean, you don't have as much control over the knife. That's the point.
I feel very in control. Okay. Then little slivers.
Mm-hmm.
And then little cubes.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
That's it, gang.
So, first set of vegetables have been strained.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the juice.
We got our roasted veggies right here. Still working on this right
Pretty
now.
well done, but you know we like it like that.
Just the very corners.
Yeah. Sorry. Just
So it's not a big deal. You can do a hard roast on them like this. You just don't scrape it too much. But the mushrooms will always come out drier. Alright, so I got that in there now, right?
Now what else goes in?
And then I'm gonna go back in with the sauce. Got strained out. Then you go back up a little bit.
Oh.
Then I'm gonna go in with some cannelloni beans.
Yum. Is this for the cassoulet?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the duck legs?
Nope, not yet.
Alright.
Now you give me the parsley out.
The one in the paper towel?
Uh-huh. Alright, now grab me that saute pan your mom just did. Now, we're gonna cook some chorizo. Okay. So we added some tomato paste and a little bit of water. So what we did was we reduced down the red wine, and we added the cannelloni beans, the roasted vegetables, and some herbs, just some parsley. A lot of people are like, oh, the parsley just for color. So parsley, you don't put anything in it that you don't have a meaning for it. And the reason I have it is parsley does actually add a flavor to it.
Okay.
Like if I wouldn't just add any green, I wouldn't add tarragon to this, right? I wouldn't add fresh oregano to this.
Would make sense.
Wouldn't make sense, yeah.
Okay, so we're cooking up the pork belly. And we've got our sausage here. This for the starter. This is closed up. Wow. Beautiful. Then we're gonna cook our cod. Here's some of our fruit, our leeks. Here are the legs.
Are you, can you help me keep getting this stuff?
Yes.
Okay, what do we got going here?
Oiled up pan. We're gonna cook up some of the cod.
All right.
Getting our butter. Butter
Just a
on
little
the pan.
bit of butter.
And give it a stir.
So the cod will cook really fast.
And what's going on right here?
So this is that blonde stock reduction that we had
Oh,
earlier.
yeah, the white
So I
wine.
hit it with a little bit of cream. I'm gonna double this up and let it thicken. It's gonna reduce down and the cream's gonna aerate and thicken a little faster. So it's gonna come in like a creamy sauce, but it's gonna be a savory cream stock,
Gotcha.
not like. Usually people are like, oh, cream. They think it's like cream for desserts. Yeah, they associate it with sweet.
All right.
Back at it. Ready to go.
Okay.
He's cooking the cod, and I'm gonna plate.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is, since I already melted these leeks down, I'm gonna get them heated up, right? Now they might not go for the whole minute, right?
Beautiful. It's a very colorful.
Yeah, very colorful dish.
Alright. So in here we have the apples,
Apples,
the manola, oranges.
oranges, and the peppers.
Uh-huh. And so our base is going to be the leeks. Actually, you know what? This is where I usually like design my plate. I think I'm going to do it a little different.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go through.
Oh, on the left hand?
Mm-hmm. I do mine on the left hand because I figure right.
Warm leeks.
And then we're gonna do some leeks.
And this is just our first course. We have multiple.
And I don't want them to bunch up too much, but I don't want them to be too loosey-goosey. All right. So the reason I do this. Okay.
Look at our cute new plates.
Okay, adorbs.
Yeah.
We got some cod going over there.
Then while I'm cooking this fish.
That good, Shnuckey?
Yep.
And then he said, just
I'll take this butter here, just a little bit, and just throw it in the pan with the fish. Keeps it nice
We're
and
gonna do
moist.
separate.
two separate ones.
Yeah. See how I did that? This is your example. You want to create that. There you go.
Got a little too much.
No, that's fine. You want to separate.
Okay.
Like that.
Because one's for the beef, one's for the cod.
One's for the pork.
Pork.
All right, now
pork
see,
this whole time.
while you're doing this, I got this sauce here. So now that this is done,
Should I make Sam's plate too?
now
You want it
we
fresh?
reduced it down,
Oh yeah.
and
I
then
want this.
I'm gonna take a little bit of butter, and this will help cool it down. So all I do is just take that cold butter and stir it in there. So in here, There's Prosecco, there's stock, there's a little bit of mustard seed, mustard. What's the word I'm looking for?
Spicy mustard?
Spicy mustard. And then cold butter and cream. So now I just set that to the side, and this is what we're gonna finish it off with.
Delish.
That one?
Yeah.
Why that one?
This is the prettiest.
Now, I'm gonna take my pork belly. I try to get the most caramelized side. And I try to keep it to where each one's the same, right? Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. And then pull this to the side.
Oh, look out.
Watch your hand. And then I cut these really small
That's fine.
so they're breaking up. Like that. And then, is the lights on? Is the table set? Do we have napkins? Yeah. All right, now I'm gonna sauce it. So,
Okay, serving it up.
Plating first course down, plating the second.
see the consistency?
Beautiful.
Keep the consistency.
And then, I'm gonna do duck leg.
And even Bojo tried it and he loved it. Which means I should get an A on my project.
Because it was Bojo approved.
Look at his face.
And then,
I'll show the face.
Just a little drizzle. Ooh.
a lot of people will take like hot oil and give it a spritz of oil and it makes it shine.
All right.
All right.
Moving on.
Can I? Course 2 down. Second course down.
Now we're on to the
Delicious.
third course.
That's a lot of sugar. It needs that much.
Apparently so.
Say again. Sorry.
I said that's a lot. I don't think
Well, you don't
What do
actually
I-
use all of it, but you do this.
Ah. He's
So
a
we're
genius.
coating it with sugar. And then I'll take a little bit off of it like that.
And the rest will burn up.
Mm-hmm. And you want to make sure the sides are clean.
I'll go and do this one.
Come on. And just dump the other one in there. There you go. The reason you want to make sure the sides are clean is because you'll caramelize sugar on there.
It'll never come off.
Yeah.
How much
Shake it. There you go. All right. So now, to take our brulee torch.
Uh-huh.
So we just got this, so I'm not sure exactly how good it is.
Get a close up of that.
So this is where you got to be careful.
Why you keep turning it on and off?
I'm not. It's cutting itself out.
Oh my gosh.
You want to keep it moving. You can back up a little bit if it starts getting a little too dark. So I think the more sugar you have on it, the better it does.
Is that good?
Okay, so we're done. Meal was fantastic. Huge thanks to my mom behind the cam for recording and Shnuckey for all his help. Shnuckey.